Hello, Lee here, the Diabetic Walker. Now I just wanted to do a follow-up on the walk that I did a few days ago from Wall in Dorset down to the coast, along through the ranges and up to Wareham. So if you've seen that walk, you'll know it was a very cold day. I was taking in some deep breaths of cold air. I did pick up a bit of a chill. Got a couple of cold sores that I've picked up as well. Basically, when I got back, coming back on the train, I was shivering all the way back, and all I wanted to do was get home, have a hot shower, get something nice and warm to eat to warm me up, which is exactly what I did. And I took my normal amount of insulin. Come about 8 o'clock, I took my background insulin, which runs for 24 hours. Took the same amount of that insulin. Decided to have quite an early night. At about 9 o'clock, before I went to bed, I always test my sugar levels, see where they are. And they were heading down quite dramatically, and they were already below 4. Went to the kitchen. I pulled out a pack of one of those Christmas variety chocolate boxes that somebody had bought for me. I'd already eaten one layer of those previously, and I had a whole layer left. And I was just literally shoveling these chocolates into me. Kept checking my sugars again. They were still going down and down. So I'd have a couple more biscuits, and then I'd wait, check again. They were still going down, and I'd literally eaten a whole layer. It must have been a dozen biscuits, maybe more than that. And they'd stopped at about 2.2 around there, which is pretty low. I had nothing else left in the house. I had 2 chocolate bars in my bag. I ate those. Still, they weren't coming up. So I thought, well, I need to pop over to the local shop. I had half an hour to go over there. Not a problem, it's just across the road. I bought another 2 packs of 3 Mars bars. And when I got back, I started to feel the effects, whereas up till then, I hadn't felt any effects at all. Normally, when my sugars drop below 4, I know, even sometimes when they drop below 5, I know that they're going down. But this time I didn't. I had no kind of heads up on it whatsoever. When I got back, I phoned my wife. My wife doesn't live with me, and I said, look, can you come round and just keep an eye on me? Because it was either that or I'd call for an ambulance. And the response is normally very quick for diabetics, I have to say, even in this day and age when they're stretched to their limits. I decided not to phone the ambulance. So I phoned my wife. She came round. I said, just keep an eye on me. Because if you go into a diabetic coma and you've got no one else around you, you're in serious trouble. She came round with my daughter, bought a box of leftover Christmas chocolates. I started diving into those. I'd already eaten 2 of the Mars bars that I'd previously bought by this point, and they were coming up very slowly, and then they dropped again very slightly. So I had a little bit more chocolate, and I was waiting probably 5 or 10 minutes to see, how the chocolate was affecting my sugars. It should send them up straight away. I've never ever had an issue like this where I've eaten so much sugar and it was still making no difference whatsoever. I just checked to make sure that I hadn't overdosed. You can do that with the insulin pens nowadays. You just click a little thing on top and it tells you what your last reading was. So I hadn't overdosed. It was quite worrying, so my wife waited around for another 45 minutes, I guess, had a cup of coffee, and they did start to rise. And by the time I said, look, okay, I think I'm okay now, they were 6.9, somewhere around that. Unfortunately, I didn't snapshot any of these. Wasn't really my first priority, if I'm honest. Wasn't even thinking about it, And I didn't decide to do this video really until the next day. And I think it's quite important to do these videos to show people who don't know much about diabetes how it can affect you, but also, if any of you are diabetics out there, to let me know if you've had similar instance where it doesn't matter what you seem to be putting into your body, it's just not, your sugars just aren't moving up any, or it took a hell of a lot. I've never had an experience like that before. But that's it really, just a little insight into not just my life, but really every diabetic's life. We're all slightly different. We all need certain things that we know will get our sugar levels up. For me, it's normally Mars bars. That works pretty well, and I think that was probably what done it. The 2 Mars bars that I had, that I'd bought from the shop previously, I'm pretty sure that was what done it. that's that. Just a short video, and like I say, just to give you some kind of insight into the things that diabetics have to go through, not just myself, but all of us really, on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so that's it. Please leave your comments for this video, especially if you are diabetic, you've had similar kind of situations to that, where you've really struggled to get your sugar levels up. Please leave those comments. I'll be really interested to read them. That's it. I've been Lee, the Diabetic Walker.